We got a little bit of stuff planned. We got some stuff happening. What's exactly happening? What's going on? Well, I had the idea of hopping on Gmod, but then I realized I have some projects that we haven't really. What's the word? Completed, and it's tad on the not so fun side because I'd like to get them completed. I'd very much like to see these projects done. I'd like to see your reaction to them. I'd like to see the finished product at the end, to be completely honest. I have one goal at the moment. That's on Blender. Blender is a 3D modeling sculpting. You can legit just do a bunch of different stuff with Blender. My purpose in this is creating a YouTube logo that I can then integrate into my videos via the outro, because no one likes intros except for like a quick fade in, like preview, title, fade out, and then video for the rest of the way. I'd like something easily adaptable to my videos, and as such, I'm just doing this. I'm putting it all there, letting it do its thing. Um, in this stream, we're going to be doing a couple things, not just Blender, but we are also going to be running and doing our D&D world setup stuff, right? That's what I intend to do. That's what my hope is to complete. There's no way we're completing that today, but I did want to get around to doing this specifically because it is important to me that I get this done. Yeah. This render is completely legit. Like, I can render this out and be fine. I think I screwed up, though, on the eyeball and the fire specifically, because when I go to play it, right, this is like live render view. There's supposed to be fire over the eyeball. There is no fire over the eyeball. Perfect. And when I go to find the file itself, like the pictures I render out specifically, one moment, allow me to find those pictures. Actually, forwarding completed renders, sources and results. Okay. Under V1. This is the good stuff. This is the fire eyeball that we're looking for. That says Photoshop. I don't want to open this in Photoshop. Yeah, I'm not subscribing back to Photoshop. Screw that. I can open it with GIMP. I hope GIMP can open the XR files. Let's see. There we go. Oh. So yeah, there's supposed to be fire on that eyeball. Yeah, let's go ahead and download that version of GIMP. I don't have it installed on this thing just yet. 3.0 Microsoft Store, yes. Which means I'm gonna close this now. Yeah, I don't need this. Hi Joe, how you doing? Okay, I'm gonna close out of that now because I don't need it. Boom. What the heck is this? Oh, this is the EXR on this version of GIMP. Okay. Opened all my relics through the night and I got tons of prime junk. Wow. Crazy. That's, I mean, it's good for you. I hope you got some of what you needed. Shoot. I haven't touched my relics. Yesterday I wanted to have more of a relaxing break day because of the atrocity that happened Monday on Org Plus. Wasn't very fun. And as a result, I needed to step away. The atrocity was I lost a lot of money on day trading. And it wasn't too bad. I mean, I get it's fake money, but my head needs to be in the game when it comes to actually doing that kind of thing. Um, that's just pretty much what it is. Those are supposed to be EXR files. It is EXR, but it's in GIMP now. Okay. So yeah, there's supposed to be fire up and around this. Let me add a layer and then put something in the background. Maybe that's what's happening. New layer. Uh-huh. This layer I want to be put all the way in the back. So that's it. Blank space. I want this to be no. Invisible. No. Hello. Well, that doesn't sound good. I wish I could. No, 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 no. It's not me asking for donations. It's just I need to step away because the mental game I had when I went to, like, when I lost the trade, right? Everything about the trades, everything about day trading is a psychology game and an overall strategy game, right? So when I say I needed to step back, it was because my mental capacity to take a trade that day was toast. Between editing 2 videos and then like needing to edit 2 videos because I take the trade early in the day, um, I needed to literally just batten all the hatches and stay confident in my decision. I was confident, but I lost in the end. Because of the loss, though, and the lack of my ability to continuously stay profitable throughout that entire endeavor, my patience ran thin, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, unfortunately, and I needed to take a break. I screwed myself up, though, because this is the last week of May that I can take trades on and be profitable. Either I am ending this month in the green, which means I have traded so efficiently that one, I now know almost every little thing that market can throw at me, and I can confidently say I can make money via day trading, and it's as simple as me throwing in my actual hard-earned cash into the market and then attempting to make a trade based on the knowledge I know and coming out with actual money I'm turning into cash in my wallet. Uh, I need to be profitable for 3 months, which means I need to end in the green 3 months straight in order for me to say, okay, I'm confident enough to try real money now, right? If I don't end this week in the green, if I don't end this month in the green, I am more than likely going to have to reset. I'm not more than likely. I have to reset per the routine I'm on. I'll reset all of what I did to where I'm back to square one. Month one, I have to go 3 months consecutively in the green profitable. If after that third month I can get green, that's when I can move on and start using real cash. But it's a learning process. It's something I got to do. Yeah, I'm fine. All good. Right now, I'm more focused on Blender. This is my YouTube icon. I've been working. If you're not new, if you are a subscriber, a long-time subscriber of the Gaming Orb channel, you'll know that this was my intro. Same just for Orb Minus, right? This was my intro, and I don't think I did it for anything for Orb Plus recently. 3 months in the green, yeah, I have to say 3 months in the green. So this was my intro for the longest time, and I was proud of it. I worked on this intro for like 2 weeks, getting all the veins right on the eyeball, getting the iris the color I wanted, getting the crystal to be the shape it was. And the hardest part about this entire process was the fire around the eye. As you can see, it's invisible, right? It's simply put, it's invisible. That is, I think, supposed to be what is like that's supposed to be the way it is. Um, my problem was getting it to appear on an image in the background because the gaming orb specifically, I would take thumbnails from Google and then post it below underneath this eyeball, so in the background, right, like all the way around this. And the purpose was to take. I need to. The purpose was to take the eyeball and the crystal and have it do its animation over the what's it called? Over that background, that thumbnail, right? And then from that, it would do like a little animation. Hello, welcome to the video. And then from that, I could edit the actual eyeball within DaVinci Resolve, my editing software. And then from that, it would do its animation, fade out under some sound effects, and then from that, I could then move on to video. I quickly learned over the time that I have spent posting videos that no one likes the intro. No one likes the long, drawn-out 10-second intro that I put up. So I thought, okay, I spent a lot of time on this, and I thoroughly enjoy the progress I have made making this. I want to do something even more for it, and at the same time, continue to incorporate it in my videos without it being the intro. So I thought, okay, the outro. The outro was made on a trial version of DaVinci Resolve and I think Blender. I think I messed with Blender a little bit. I really don't know. I went into Blender and I went into DaVinci Resolve and I did a combination of the two to really get that ending fine-tuned. And my thought process was, okay, clouds. I have an eyeball with the crystal and the fire. My thought process was, it would be awesome to throw in a background of clouds, kind of like Black Ops 3's. You know what? I have an idea. Let me try and find that, because was it Black Ops 3 with the clouds, with the black stuff, with the blue beams shooting up and it like swirly? The picture I'm specifically talking about is that plane that would fly through the clouds, and then you'd have like an event horizon almost of just a valley of clouds with these blue beams shooting up through them with the black swirling around them, and it's just a plane in the middle of the screen. I don't know if it was a loading screen or not. I don't know if it was Black Ops 3. I thought it was Black Ops 3. Yeah, it looked like this, but instead of this, it had blue beams shooting up, and it would swirl with this black stuff. But I thought something like this would be pretty cool to have, and then have an eyeball like in the like middle of it back here, right? Think perspectively, right? It's at a distance, and it's just sitting there watching. And it's got moving clouds all throughout it, and it looks kind of cool. I want to make this in Blender, and I know that's going to be very difficult, and I know I'm not this good. I'm not that good with Blender, and I know this was probably made in, what, Unreal Engine 5 or something like that. Cool, but I have a question. If it's possible, maybe the orb could be animated. It is. It is. It looks like real fire. It's not fake fire. It's not invisible fire. The problem is, with Blender, there's a setting where the fire, because it's not attached to a material, so realistically, like speaking, like on this eyeball right here, you would have to look for this right here, right? If I rotate this around, this right here is a separate object. All of what's in this orange right here, this mesh that's appearing. So I've animated it. It is animated. All of this right here is a single item, and this box is the bounding box for realistic fire to come off of the eyeball. Like, it looks super hyper realistic. That is my goal. The other goal, this primary goal, that what I'm having for this stream right now, is because now I know this right here is perfect, right? I understand it's a little delayed. No, that's okay. I understand delayed. Sorry. I know this right here works. I know it does. Let me see something. Let me see. I'm gonna save this image, and I hope I can put it into Blender. Pick doors. Not you. We want to go to this. How many pictures? It's right here. Images. There we go. Clouds. Clouds JPEG. That should have worked. Let's see. It did, right there. Good. We're going to minimize this. We're going to take this. Boom. Boom. Yes. I'm going to delete this layer. This I want below this. Okay. Something like this is what I'm after. Can I resize this? Boom, 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 boom. Good. I want to resize it now. Can I resize it? I don't know how to resize it in GIMP. I'm gonna have to learn that. Okay. But this is the general gist, right? I want to make this much larger. I want to make this a little bit smaller so that the perspective is this is like at a distance when you're looking at it, and it's doing its thing, like animation style with the fire and everything. And then from this, I want the clouds to move, not pulsate, but you get the point. I want it to like move rapidly, but not out of frame. I want it to be a constant generation of clouds, and it just roll over each other into the distance and forever continue in that distance, right? I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Gonna make an intro. No, it's an outro with better animations plus. Yeah. So the intro specifically, no one likes it. No one likes the intro at all. And so I thought, okay, because I've worked on this for a couple weeks now, I want to make it into my outro, because my outro at the moment is just a PNG of an eye and then red clouds in the back, and it's super low res. Such terrible quality. So I figured, okay, an easy replacement for that would be the crystal with the eyeball. It would look amazing as the outro. And I wouldn't have to really cut anything out and manipulate anything like that. I could just throw it on, have it animate the way I want it to, and then from that have like a bunch of like the options to go to different channels and the videos on that. Yeah, that's my current goal. That's what I'm trying to get to happen. I know you can't see GIMP. I know you can't. Allow me to see. I'm gonna have to do this. This is how I'm gonna have to do this. So, boom. Let's do this. Let's do this because display window 2. Boom. We're gonna do this. We're gonna add not application. Not game capture. What is this one? This one is app window. This one, window capture. There we go. App 2. Boom. Boom. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at. I'm gonna lock that in place. I'm gonna go back up to this here. I'm gonna add a scene. Display window 2. Yes. Take this, shrink it by a lot. I'm gonna bring it to roughly that size there. Drag it up here. So now you can see it there. This is what I'm after. That image right there is what I'm after on GIMP specifically. Stuff. I don't know how to make this bigger in GIMP. Scissors, foreground select, no. No. Let's do this. Boom. How to resize an image in GIMP. Scale. Image scale. So like this. This. Size. Yes. So it's not as simple as that. Control Z. Uh-oh. Go away. This one here, we want 0. Boom. 0. Yes. We want this right here to be 100. 100. Does that work? Nope. Big size. Expand from center, yes. Allow growing, yes. No, I don't want to fill with transparency. X out of that. Delete route pixels. Current layer on. Yes, current layer on. Because I don't want that being. I don't want that manipulating anything else. I think that's cool. Ooh, I didn't realize when you switch screen look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. That's not changing anything. I feel like that's got like such a limited version of that. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little stormy on my end as well. So in the event, oh there it goes. Now it's working. I did something. Woo. There we go. I want to bring this down. There we go. Again, this isn't really a cap. Like I don't want to copy this, but this is kind of what I want to do with my intro, or my outro specifically. Sorry. So what I'm gonna do is not freezing anymore. Awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, I was gonna be honest with you. I thought it was storming outside. It's actually blue skies. So I'm sorry. I thought it was my fault. That was on my end. Hi. Did I mess up? I think I did. I'm getting sidetracked now with GIMP. I know I'm getting sidetracked. I know I am. I don't want to really manipulate that image any more than I have to. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go into this. So the goal here is to open a new, not a new file. I'd like to create clouds within this without messing with the fire on that. So I need to open, yes, save that. I want to go to this one, 40s, we did renders, Blender, I have, there we go, clouds, cloud blend. This is what I've currently got going on. So this right here is my cloud emitter. This right here is a transparent floor, or reflective floor, right? You're fine. So this right here is my transparent floor. So when I press play on this specifically, and we go into this right here, this square will fill with cloud, and this right here will reflect the cloud back up. So I can use a small item, a small emitter, right? And from that emission, it balloons out over like the floor, and it creates like a cascade type gist to where it's like floating over the floor in a flat manner. And when it creates that, it will have like its own ripples and stuff, right? Like that's what I'm thinking would work. Um, Floor fog. Yeah, kinda. It'll generate floor fog, but it's when I'm done, I'll have created so many ridges and stuff within the bounding box for the cloud to really go through that floor then becomes mountainous, hillless, if you will. And from that, you'll see clouds forming not just from a flat surface, but over like a valley of sort, kind of like the GIMP picture, kind of like how this right here is like a U, a bowl shape, right? It'll look something similar to this, but it won't be this. It'll be more ridges. It'll cut off like at the peaks of mountains, so it'll look something like this, and then curve back down into that, right? Same gist on the other side. It'll curve up, then go back down, and then it'll be just cloud over this. The atmosphere, this little bright patch right here, that would look amazing, and I do want that to happen. But I imagine what's going to happen, what I'm going to have to do with the hills thing, like the hills that I'm going for, it'll probably need light source wise. It'll probably need to come from a different direction, so that way it's not like depicting this picture specifically, right? So that way the lighting of it is a little bit different, and I can manipulate the two separately. I can have a single scene where it's clouds forming like this, and then a second scene with just the eyeball and the fire. So when I overlap the two, one's an image that is solid in color, and then the second has the eyeball and crystal, which is solid, and then the fire, which is transparent, that can reflect off of that solid background. Because in Blender, the RGB setting it won't work with other transparent images, so it needs a solid file, to a solid background to reflect off of. That's how you see fire. Um, yeah, I'm looking at something that I could potentially use, that I do want to use. I'm gonna try and download this. See if this works for me. Continue. Oh, I have to do that. That sucks. Anyway, let's do. Just my email. I don't even have a password for this. Good, y'all can't see that. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Sure. Okay. Eh. I'm gonna be honest, it's complex even for me. So, let's do this. I've never used anything other than Unity. Sure, I'll submit that. This is a thing. Yes. Close. I'd like to. This says free, so I think I'm good. That's just about warframes and weapons. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask. I didn't even see that because of their UI. Good grief. The site's UI is like super buggy. What the heck? Okay, let's do this. Let's go to Carthon. There should be. What the heck? Uh-huh. Cool. Item added to the cart. Okay, so I can click on this then. Not that. Sad. What's your question, Joe? I seen you. Go ahead. So I thought it would be easy to do this, but it's looking like it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm going to disable this temporarily because I'm not really using GIMP at the moment. I just got Valkyrie Prime infused Nork and Cell Tour and placed a lot of mods to it. More tank style armor, basically. Health is at 814, shields 305. Armor is 1139. Energy is 564. Strength level 9. So I'm gonna say it now. Valkyr is getting nuked. I don't know if you were in the party when me, King, and Lapis were talking about it, but the entirety of Valkyr's abilities are getting nuked. Like her 4 was immaculate the way it was. 45 range 145. So all of that looks good. There was a way you could build her for max, like you want max range and max strength on her specifically, and with a little bit of efficiency so you can continuously keep your abilities up. The problem with Valkyr now, though, is once she is nuked the way they're wanting to nuke her, right? The her abilities are going to be some of the worst in Warframe because you are now no longer invincible in your 4, unlike where you were the other like before this upcoming update, right? You're invincible right now. After this update, you will no longer be invincible. Your damage is nerfed, your range is nerfed, and your efficiency is out the wazoo. Just completely out the window. They've added it to where you can nuke means bad. Yeah, bad. Nerf. Nuke as in they are nuking and nerfing all of her abilities. Because the only good, like, at first it was a buff. Her 1 was bad. They improved it. They changed it from a single line to, if I'm not mistaken, a ball of many lines that take all the enemies and group them together. Helps out the player with target acquisition. Her 2 and 3 are undergoing some different changes with extended duration, added strength, added stuff to it, right? Which is okay. It's not bad. But the bad part, the real bad part, and we're making the moves better and stuff, buffer. So the majority of them, yes. But her 4 was and is her ultimate. It's her one ability that makes Valkyr Valkyr. Without that ability, she could literally pass for any other frame. Valkyr's 4 is an enraged state where she is clawed up, ready to go. She could maul through anything, just destroy anything in her path. They nuked her range on it, so shorter range. You have to be up in front close with enemies, which is cool. I mean, it's a melee thing, cool. But it's the same story with slam builds on hammers. For instance, the Sempotis. The Sempotis you can slam and it creates a 40-meter shockwave that deals an, right now, a crazy amount of damage. Sends people flying, very destructive. Valkyr was one of the first slam builds where when you go to heavy attack, she stomps the ground, creates an AoE shockwave, and from that, crazy numbers, which works while she's invincible. But because they stripped the invincibility, now you can take on any form of damage while in slam. Problem. Then you have Nuke's range. That AoE does not kick the same it did a second ago. 3, her strength. The numbers are going to be much less, but they countered that with you have to now build combo with it. How can you build combo on lesser enemies unless there are endless hordes of them and you can confidently kill them in that rapid succession? If they're so spread out and far between, I'm thinking Venus tile stats with the Corpus. I'm thinking Eris tile stats with some of the infested units. They're not good. They're not bad, but they're not good, right? You're not going to build that combo as fast as you were a second ago. You're just not, unfortunately. Overall, her 4 is getting so nerfed, it's sad. Because I like Valkyr. I legit have a build on Valkyr. I formatted Valkyr for my pleasure in playing with her, enjoying her moveset. 95p on the market. Not a waste. Not a waste because she is a prime and she is mastery. And realistically speaking, she still is a prime. She just won't do the funny numbers that everyone wants her to do now. Because beforehand, you can not only send people flying and kind of have some crowd control cover, now you're more or less hitting a brick wall, and that brick wall is either going to go down stupid fast with a very small number, not very entertaining, or you'll send them flying, but not at the distance you were a second ago, and they'll take chip damage from the status you have on your form. That's essentially what they made her. Is it a waste of 95 plat? That is entirely dependent on your opinion of what a buff and a nerf is, in my opinion. Because, realistically, again, it is the player that decides what's entertaining for them. And Valkyrie is one of those frames that I love. I love playing Valkyrie. But because of the nerf, I don't know. That's just me. By all means, I'd say play with her. Like, get a build so good and play with her today to really get a hold of understanding exactly what it is you're playing with. Sad. Last question. What's up? Go ahead. Control C, Control B. We're gonna back this out this way. We're gonna rotate you. How do I rotate? This one. The blue. We want to rotate you 90 degrees. Yeah. Should I get Ivara Prime? Yes. Why? Because she is the spy frame at the moment. She has, I think it's an augment, if I'm not mistaken. An augment or a mod you can pair with, again, another augment or a mod, or a combination of mods and her abilities, as well as a companion's mods and augments, if I'm not mistaken. You can pair her with some stuff that will make her perma-invis. I say perma-invis. Very close to perma-invis. How about that? And that's an easier way of putting it. Her invisibility is the best in the game right now. That's just the way it is at the moment. Her invisibility is the best at the moment. And because of it, it's one of those things where you could go through... if you subsume over her one, if I'm not mistaken, the auto hack from the helmet, she is by far the easiest to complete any spy with. She can go through lasers while she's invisible. I think that's her passive. If not, it's an augment. While she's invisible, undetectable by enemies, so she can walk through literally anybody. Anyone, anywhere, at any time. And then 3, and most importantly, that ability that allows you to auto-hack, automatically complete the hack on your next console, right? That is by far the best ability to go for on Ivara. She goes 45.50 on market. Right now, she's pretty cheap for. Yeah, she's pretty cheap. That too. That's literally her only strength, is in her spy. Outside of that, steel path-wise, you would need a different build. It's entirely build dependent when it comes to Ivara. And there are some abilities on her that just are not worth using. Like, other frames have the same kind of ability, and it's very much so apparent that it was meant to get subsumed over, and or if it were to be manipulated for your benefit in Steel Path or whatnot, you would need to really get into her and get her fine-tuned, get comfortable playing with her, or for that to be a frame worth using. Uh, fluid. Should I just make this a watching video, watching video stream? Because I'm having such a terrible time focusing right now. I have all the knowledge in the world about a video game and none about Blender. And I'd like to make a cloud. Not just a cloud, but a valley of clouds that move. That's what I'm trying to do. And I have no real knowledge on how to do that outside of put smoke emitter down, put a domain over the emitters, and then from there just press play and watch it create smoke. But it doesn't want to create smoke without me first baking in data for. Won't even let me scroll. Is this the correct? I think this is the correct one. Oh, it's like, oh, it's that. Okay, so this right here is. Oh, it's not even that. Okay. You're fine. You're good. You're not a distraction. Just trying to figure out how the heck to do this. Do I have it backwards? No, maybe it's this. It is this. Okay, so I have to bake the domain in order to get these emitters to actually go off. But before I can do that, I've got to make it to where the smoke. Hmm. We're gonna do this and close out of that. I'm on Google right now. I'm looking up how to do this because I don't know how to do this. Thing is, I want them to move, right? I want them to move, and I don't want them to fill up the domain, which means they would need to dissolve after a specific domain, like after it hits a certain level, a height off the object. And I know it's got something to do with temperature. Not how to create. How to contain smoke in Blender. Smoke and properties. Okay, so it's right here. Uh-huh. Yes, okay, so that is what this is. Smoke, inflow, good. Inflow says this generates smoke. Cool. From here, we want to create. Cool. That's something. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to happen. The smoke does not change our effects in space. Straight up, you part just the particle moves in a desired direction, but the smoke always floats up. Okay. See, there's the next. This was posted back in 2017. change gravity. So in domain physics, is it this? Is it this one? Is it this one? If it's okay if we meet up, I have no problem with meeting up. I have no problem with that at all. I'm not gonna lie, I am not a people person. I am very much a loner. Uh, oh, I just realized I have to change that. I knew I was forgetting something. Um, I have no problem with meeting up. I have no doubt we're probably going to be good friends. Shoot, I imagine we're good friends now. Shoot, we friended up. We play Warframe together. That works. I've not met up with any of the other people I have made friends over the course of my time on Xbox, but I have no problem with that. Just save. This is a just chatting stream, and I am intending to be very, very uh, much so part of things. By that time, I'll be 30. It's the domain. It is in domain. Adaptive. Do I want adaptive domain? Border collisions. Yes, because I don't want it flowing out. Although I think if it collides, it fades. Like it just no, because it disappears. I want it to bounce off of it and flow back into. Trying to create a natural look to the way it moves. Yeah. Hello, gravity. You're what I'm looking for. How about this? Let's go to because heat. Hmm. Okay. Okay. This is going to involve a lot of baking and retesting and baking and retesting and getting the fine-tuned points down because there's no real way of getting the simulation to work without having all the settings locked in, and then from that you can do stuff with it. Because as soon as I manipulate something over here, it'll unbake all of it, and I'll have to rebake it again, and that could take forever. I do want to change this down to 120. No, because that would not work. Let's do 300 frames. Keep that simple. Let's go to our. Is it this one? No, it's this one. This one here. Where is? Yep, and 300. Good. Okay, good. We don't care about that. So I could bake that, but I don't want to do that just yet. That's good. That's good. Good there. We're using cycles and GPU. That's good. Okay, cool. So that works. I can bake all of this now. This will take. Oh, it won't take long at all. 300 frames is not long, which is good for us. If all is correct, all four of these should output a amount of smoke, and then from that, why are you rendering way more than you should? That should not have done that. That's currently what my smoke looks like. Oh, dog, let me do this. So it's a little. I think this one actually. Yeah. So you can see it roughly right here. Boom. It's a bit wonky, chat. Just a bit. This said 6. Oh, that's why. That's why I did that. So now I have to. Yes, I'm 25, Joe. I don't see anything else. That's auto chat going off. I'm going to free all the data now. Now that that's set to 300, I need to figure out because this is not the goal. Like, that was not the goal I wanted. I want smoke to flow, like, produce itself, bounce off, and react the way smoke does. When it bounces off of something, heat rises, and as a result, it'll eventually rise, create its forms and flows and stuff. But I don't want the inner part of the smoke. Like, I want it to, like, different fields of gravity. And I feel like the only way to do that is with a force field, which you can add right here, right? You can add force field, force wind, or something else to keep a section of an emitter down while the sides puff out, hit the sides, and continue to rise the way it's supposed to. The end result will be not a valley or a canyon of smoke, but a flat surface that is controlled, wavy, so smoke at a base, and then from that, emission of smoke at a V shape, right? Vortex works cool and all. I'm gonna turn that back up to 1. I think it's a combination of this right here and between that and this right here, because this dictates how high it rises. Should I get Tatsu Prime? Yes, get both. You want to debate on which one you should get first? Great. Okay, so yes, get Graham's going to be the harder of the two because Tatsu was out earlier this year. So I would advise hunting down Tatsu first. It will be cheaper for you. Graham's going to be a lot more expensive, and I gotta say, Graham is a learning curve and a style choice. Tatsu is 10 times quicker, but Graham is a 10 times stronger box stick. Not gonna lie. I'd like to manipulate all of these at once. Good. There is a rule with surface. Like this. There we go. Increase flow of smoke. There we go. I have a scene. Should have lost. Okay, so increase the flow, generate smoke. I wanted to do something else this stream, but it looks like I won't have time to. Because I really want to get this to work the way I want it to, and I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have this kind of done, but I'm not going to have it where... Because I've got 3 hours, right? I've been recording for an hour and streaming for an hour. My second goal was to go to D&D, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend another hour on this, right? We're going to have a complete VOD of me just trying to figure this crap out, and once it's good and done, said, out the way, I'm going to upload this VOD to Orb Plus. Like, both VODs from this stream are going to go to Orb Plus, not Orb's Vault, so stay tuned for that, right? The third hour, because it's so much more fluent for me to create stuff off the book and just let it do its thing, right? Get creative with it. I think that is going to be... It's fine. Haha. Ha. Awesome. You sure it's the Kavat and not Kalimos, the other cat? Want to have a traffic cone on? Either way, um, the last hour of the stream and VOD is going to be dedicated to D&D. Like, I'm not gonna skip over that. I want to get some D&D stuff done today too. Initial velocity, increase the speed. Okay, so from here I'm to initial velocity. Wait, is it initial velocity? It is. Increase the speed. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring it. I don't want it to go crazy, but I do want this. That's the initial velocity. Now for the smoke domain, I would need to bake all again. This time it'll be a lot quicker because I've knocked all of it down to 300 frames. It's not going to do much else. Same thing. Okay, cool. I'm slowly learning Blender. I'm fairly new. I have no idea. If you have me on Discord, you could probably send me a screenshot. That'd be interesting to look at. Okay. That's done. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. We have things. We have smoke that rises. And realistically speaking, I could probably slow this down, but my problem right here is right there. This looks perfect. This is what I wanted to happen. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. It works. It really, really does work. So it is initial velocity that increases that. I wonder, can I manipulate that without breaking things? I can. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring this down to 0. I don't want it to necessarily go up. I want it to bounce off the sides, because the speed is what controls the direction in which things move. The y-axis is directly facing me from us back, and then x is from side to side. So I'm thinking we'll make this 5, and then from front to back we'll change that to, let's bring that to 10. Let's see what happens from here. Bring that to 0. Boom. There we go. Same problem though, it's doing that. It's force fielded, so I don't know if you see that or not. It changed it the way we wanted it to. It's very hard to see that. Let me change it to this. So we have emission, which works, right? And it's slow in some areas, good and a little too much in others. I'm gonna look for Patreon, but it said link was it's expired. I'm gonna fix that, because it's not supposed to expire. That link is supposed to be good for a decent while. I'm gonna fix that here soon. Here's a place I have it that should still be available. Should be. From Patreon, it's expired? That doesn't make sense. One moment. Community. chance. Invite invalid. Okay. Let's do this then. Because I can do this super quick. Hang on. Allow me to fix that. This one. Whoa, that was laggy. This one. This one. Invite people. Yes. Edit invite link. Maximum of uses no limit. Expire after never. Never expire. Grant temporary. No, not grant. Maximum of uses no limit. Good. Generate link. Yes. Copy. This. 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 Perma invite. There you go. Same place, different link. I'm actually going to delete this. Boom. That link is valid. I just created it. I'm going to close out of that completely. I'm going to keep this open because that is actually valid. Like, I do want to keep that. I'm going to close out of Discord. Go ahead and send it over those chats. And then becomes the problem of this. How do I get it to do stuffs? Can I change it to negative? Let's see what negative 10 does. Because this looks good, and it does look like it's doing its thing. And you can see it squished up against that right there. There's like a area where it hits and then it bounces off, right? I think it produces a little too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to like 0.5. Good. See what it does now. It's still like yay. I want it to fade. I don't want it to collide off of that. So I think what I have to do is on the domain itself, I have to change the collision. Is it the collision? It should be the collision. It's this right here. Border collisions. It should not collide with the top. It should actually fade out of the top. It'll fly up to the top, but it won't do that. So I think what needs to happen is I need to press adaptive domain, probably. I'm going to free all of this. I'm going to throw on adaptive domain so it sits there and changes, which works. Properties of adaptive domain in Blender. Simulation domain shrinks to fit the gas, saving computation time by excluding empty voxels. Cool. Adaptive shrink, add resolution, margin. You can specify the amount of extra space to leave around the gas when the adaptive domain measures its voxels. This can affect how quickly the simulation bakes, whether there's any clipping threshold. You can set the minimum amount of gas. contained before it is considered empty and can be excluded from this. Okay, so there's a threshold that I can do stuff. Okay, so I don't care about that. I'm not on Discord right now, so I'll be there in a moment. Awesome. Here, let me see. Meme. It's an owl. That is not a cavat. That is an owl. It's in the memes. That's perfect. That is an owl cat. It is not a cavat. It is not a cat. It is an owl cat. If Vanos were a cat. Particles, physics simulations. Maybe that's what I'm messing up. I like what that just said. Comes back against. Hmm. Okay, so I'm thinking. Yeah, owl cat. So I'm thinking. So it can this right here can be a complex object. The domain can be, which means a circle, triangle, pyramid, like, right? Um, the domain is meant to house the smoke. It's supposed to project smoke from an object. The emitter is supposed to, for the domain's parent function, emit smoke into that square. Um, What I'm trying to do is house smoke within a square, keep a space flat, and allow smoke to flow from other directions, and then fade out completely. So what I think I'm going to do, have I freed this? I have. So I'm going to change the resolution to 1. Let's see what happens when resolution has been changed to 1. Boom. Yes. Bake all. This, I can't move that while it's baking, so I have to wait. The adaptive domain says when there is no smoke in frame, the domain is small, tiny. But the result is when the emitters are signaled to smoke, domain appears, expands to the size of domain set right here. Once that's the case, the smoke will expand and then fade out as the domain reaches its maximum capacity. Ugh. Triple stretch right there. Crazy things, chat. Crazy things. Let's see what happens here. 200 to 300. Got a little bit more to go. Okay. Let's see what happens, shall we? Boom, 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 boom. Same thing. Same thing. Roughly. Roughly the same thing just happened. Except smoke is fading. You can see it right there. It is fading. Ever so slightly. Like roughly in that right there. That's where it's fading out. Which is what we want to happen. I'm going to free all of this again. I'm going to select all of this. Good. I want to change some stuff. Reduce emission string. Lowering emission string by on your smoke emitter object to reduce the overall amount of smoke being emitted. So on the emitter, smoke, this, boom, surface emission. That's at 0.5. Let's change to 0.1. Just because. Heat instead of density. Instead of using density for emission source, instead of using heat, this can create more natural loop for explosions. I'm not after explosions. Reduce vorticity adds movement to the smoke, but excessive use can make it move erratically. Try reducing vorticity value on the simulation. I believe that would be this, wouldn't it? Yeah, vorticity is at 1. I want to change this to 0.1 because I have too much smoke right now. What I'm doing is decreasing values to eliminate a lot of the explosion smoke and more of a calm smoke. The result being I can create a large amount of motion with the smoke and have it limited to a certain area. So at that point, I could just slow it down, like speed up a specific frame, right? Get the point where it's completely full of smoke and where I want it to end, and then from there just slow it down ever so slightly to where I can get it to flawlessly loop. Any in the game. Ribbons are ribbons. They're random wild cards. You can stick it on a Rubico and it'll probably open up for any other thing, to be honest. So just domain scale, it's adaptive, so it'll change on its own. I also have collision on, so it'll affect front, back, left, right, but it will flow through the bottom and through the top, which works. You can animate the density setting on the smoke emitter to stop and restart smoke flow duration during the simulation. So it's on the smoke emitter to stop and restart smoke flow during the simulation. So density, boom, 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 boom. Good. Density. So I can't manipulate all of them at once, but I can manipulate them one at a time. That's also a thing that needs to happen. 5, 10, negative 10. 5, 10, negative 10. Yeah. Such is Warframe. I move that to 0.1. This is going to 0.1. 0.1. 5, 10, negative 10. Good. And this one right here. 0.1. 5. Not 50. 10. Negative 10. Good. Okay. From here, there should be a massive change now. There should be a massive change. And what I'm going to do is, let's do this. It collides with the front, flows out the back. It hits right and left and hits the bottom. I don't want it to hit the bottom. I want it to fade out of the bottom, which works for me. With that being the case, this is controlling of the domain. It'll expand. Let's bake all this. See what it does. That should have changed a lot, because we changed it on the 1 and we saw the change. We saw the difference in it. The speed at which it comes in and out and fades away should be changed drastically now. And it shouldn't be locked to a flat surface. So there is a problem. There is a problem. I think because I changed this to a 0.1, I think that results in a problem. Let's change this to 1. Do that for all of it. Alright, let's try and bake it again. Domain, heat, bake all, do its thing. It's gone a little bit slower that time. See that, chat? That means we have smoke in our simulation now, which is what we wanted. So I can't change surface emission, but I can change the velocity, the density, and the gravity of it all via the emitter outside of the domain. Let's see what it does. It's taking a little bit longer than expected, which is good. The goal is this. You can't see that. The goal is something like this, something akin to this, with fire over the eye. We gotta get fire on it, otherwise it's not worth it. Okay. Let's see. Change. That's a good change. That's very good change. What in the world? Okay. This is what I wanted to do. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Now I have to change it to fill a certain amount. Hmm. I could change the shape of each of the emitters. Because the domain is baked into it, I would need to unbake it, take the emitters without changing any of the settings, but instead change the dimensions. From there, create the waves and moves, and geometrically alter the shape of clouds. Rebake into that domain, and then from there, let it do its thing. It is no longer bouncing off of the bottom. Instead, it's hitting it and then cutting off of it. The adaptive domain, I think, works with it quite well. Got a little bit of lag going on, but that is completely fine. Also, are you aware we can rank up? Yes. So, in order to rank up in Clan Dojo, I've already initiated the ceremony. You would need to go to the console in the middle of the Forgotten Halls, not the trade post, not the donation post, but the other one that's floating with the blue. You have to walk up to it, press X, and claim your endo. We need a specific number of members to do that, and from that, we will become from rank 10 to rank 11 in the dojo. We could also go up in clan tier, but I'm not willing to do that just yet because if we do, it will cost more to do the pigment research, and the pigments are our colors within the dojo that can pretty much do that. We want to keep that cheap so we can get the pigments as fast as possible, after which we can then move on to the clan tiers, the clan rank, just getting members in and all that fun jazz. It'll also make it a little bit more difficult for you and King to decorate stuff because it ups the price of decorations being placed in the dojo and crafted, making them a solid piece, right? Um, yeah, so 8 more days to do that. Yeah, you got to be a member for a little while. There are a bunch of members that I can honestly message and say, hey, you might want to claim your endo before it's too late because we need 15 people to do that. And we have 15 people in the clan, but getting them online and actually having them play Warframe long enough to press X on a single console without being distracted, kind of a little difficult. Just a little bit. I'm not one for pulling teeth, and frankly, it's been like that for the past little while. If people want free endo, they know where to get it. If not, oh well. It's on them. I think we did good here. So on the domain, I want to free all of this. Free all. Good. I do not want to change anything about the emitters except for the shape. And the shape is going to be vertice, like we're adding specific stuff. There's a way to add a vertice, but I don't know how. I forgot. You'll first need to be in edit mode, then add a vertex by either selecting an edge or subdividing it, or by using add vertex feature with control right click. Okay. So in edit mode, not in object mode, I would need to do that. Because that's where this is going to be. I need to change this here to here. So take this, I'm going to take this and angle it like this, because this is where I want it to be, right? What I'm going to do is upscale it like this here. Boom. I want to do the same thing with this. I want to bring this up. What's this height at? It is... let's do this. Let's make this an even number, 25. Not 250. Good grief. -2 and 10. Just cause. Does that look about right? Yeah, that looks about right. From here, boom, we're going to do the same thing. What's this? -25, -2, so -25. That is incorrect. We would need 30. Yep. We would need -2, not 20. Good. What's this other one? 10. Boom. 10. Good. And we have it rotated. Let's make this 25. We change that to -0.01. Then 90 degrees. We're not going to change that scale. Let's keep this an even number. 10. Because it needs to be a valley with a floor, I'm going to delete this one. I want to delete this one. Can I delete this one? Thank you. I'm going to drag this one over here. Good. And I want to expand it. I want to change the scale from this to this. Is that too big? That is too big. 20? That's still too big. Okay, 15 then. That's right. Good. Location 0 on the Y. That keeps us in our domain. And location on the X. Centered. Good. The only thing that's changed is the Z, and it's set to 5, which works. We actually don't want that to be 5. We want that to be 1. 10, 1. Good. We're going to lock the position of this one because we don't want it to change. We're going to lock the scale of it as well. This is our floor of smoke. We're going to change the direction of which the smoke moves throughout this. Keep it simple, right? And then this one right here, we're going to change location. Y, let's keep 0. I think that's why it looks off. Yep. We're going to lock that into position. Yeah, we're gonna lock that into position. The center of that object is gonna stay there. Um, X, yes, we're gonna keep the same. Y, the height, we're gonna keep the same. Scaling, we want to keep manipulatable, right? We do not want to rotate this. We're gonna keep this 0. Lock the rotation. Good. Same just for here. Lock the rotation. This. That's set and done. We like that the way it is. We have locked all of that. Our domain is adaptive. We don't need to change that. This needs to change to 0. Let's do the same thing with this. We have 10 on that. We have 2 on that. Same thing over here. We have to go the opposite direction. So 10 on this, 10 on this. No, not 10. Is it 10? It is 10. It's because it's at an angle. 2, and then we need -2 on this. -2, not 20. That should have changed scale. It did change scale. I'm looking at rotation, thinking that's the same thing. Rotation, or scale is good. I'm not changing the scale of it. Actually, we have to keep that unlocked, because that's going to be a thing later. Rotation's changed, though. 25. Incorrect. -25. That's correct. 90, 25, good, yes. Lock rotation, good. Scale, location specifically. That is 25. So now they are equidistant from the sides, which works for me. That looks about right. We're going to lock the rotation. We're going to lock that as, what is it, 10? Yep, 10, 25, 25, -90, 25, good. Yes, good. Lock all of that. Done. This is good. That's good. Unlock that because I don't know if that's going to change much. So from here, we have to go to edit mode, right? Boom. Okay. Now we're manipulating not the floor, but these two specifically, right? We want to not add cube, we want to add extrude, we want to add vertex. Poly build. Smooth edge slash shrink. That's add cube. We don't want to add cube. We want to not poly. Is it edit mode? It's sculpt. I don't think it's sculpt. Nope. By either selecting an edge or subdividing it. So on this specifically, control right stick. Why is it manipulating the domain? Ooh, good pop. My goal is to create like a hilly, like to wrinkle these as much as possible and get them to scale and conform like a little canyon of sorts throughout this. So the end result is a smoke divide right here. And because it's conformed to this, when we press play, it's going to have smoke emit upwards, but it's not going to cover anything at the back, which is exactly what I want to happen. Once that's taken care of, I'll have a force field for speed, send it off to the side, right? And I think the resulting of that is going to be smoke being pushed at a distance. That it will be one complete image sequence that I can then render out and then place over image that will have smoke. Once that's taken care of, it'll be onto our eyeball with the crystal. We have to make that again and brighten up the colors. Once that's taken care of, we'll take that, put it over the smoke and the image, and then from that we'll have the desired effect. And I can manipulate the scale of it, of the eyeball and the smoke, at a later time through a video editing software versus in Blender. I think that works. I think it works. Let me know if it works down in the comments. It is 3:42. We're almost done streaming, chat. We've been streaming Blender for a while now, and I'm glad I've made progress on it. I think I've made some decent progress on this. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good, and I'm actually like taking the time and brain and effort to learn this to get it the way I want it to. I am gonna say though, I am missing out on some stuff because I want to add a vertice. I want to add like a point that I can grab, move, and then do stuff with, right? Because I know if I do this right here, click this, and then just like there's supposed to be something I do here that says move one way or another. Okay. I'd like to create a new shape. Don't know how. Add monkey. No, vertex. Not well. Cora would be your best option. Try Cora if you have her. Seeing as you're in my clan, you can actually message King. He could help you out with that. I know he's got ribbons he wants to pop as well. If he doesn't, I'm gonna be surprised. Learning, chat. I'm learning. Look at me. I is learning. Tiburon. Tiburon's a good one. So I don't want to do that very often. This is what I'm after. Yeah, put the ribbon, but realistically speaking, you can get comfortable with, if you can get comfortable with using the normal variants of weapons, it's as easy as making. It'll make your life easier if you get comfortable with that first. I kind of wish I could just manipulate. I think I messed up. I have not messed up. This looks very janky, but it's supposed to be that way. What I did was I messed up with the creation of a bunch of this right here, but that's okay. I can correct it. I think I've created too many vertices. Good. I know this is gonna look extremely janky, but that's what it's supposed to be. So right now I've got, it looks like two different shapes. I want to delete these. I want to actually just delete vertices. I can, but I have to do individually. Good gravy. It is 4 p.m. I have no problem with ending recording now. I'm just messing with this, to be completely honest. I am completely entranced by just doing this. I know it's a bad thing for me to do this. I created that. That was a side? Hot dog. We're gonna keep that the same. We're gonna delete these though. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to take this and I want to like add different vertices to this, right? And then from that, I get something like this right here, where I could just constantly add different vertices to stuff. But the problem is that right there occurs, and then it becomes, oh, not good. So I have to like delete every single one of these. Select this to make sure it's this point that I'm adding stuff to, right? So I can't subdivide it. Dang. Okay. Um, this is all in the shape. Sweet. I hope this adds the points I'm after, because if I can just like fractalize all of this to where it like creates many different points that I can then contort and bevel and stuff, when I bake the domain, my hope is that when I press play, it will actually start playing smoke and everything like that. Um, Obviously, there's a little bit more I've got to learn about this, and I do want to get to actually rendering this out and making it into a viable thing. I understand I didn't really do much this stream. I am very much so working hard to get this to where I want it to be, right? Um, that being the case, I do hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm doing a giveaway for Warframe if you're interested in participating. You're guessing the number of 1999 cover display photos or cover display posters that I purchased in the game Warframe. Um, yeah, you get a guess per live stream and per VOD that I post. Post the like. You got 10 minutes after the end screen displays itself. Wait. What am I doing? I streamed for 3 hours today, not 2. It's 4. I have another hour to go. Yeah, but in either case, if you're newer on the comeback, be sure to hit that follow button or subscribe. Tells me you want more of this kind of content. This next hour, I'm going to be transitioning over to. I'm not ending stream. Just yet. Not just yet, Joe. Hang on. Hold your horses. I still got another hour to go. I just realized it. I know there's a delay. I'm sorry. I made a boo-boo. I made a mistake. I was so entranced I thought time had skipped. I thought I had skipped time. That was my mistake. Let's back up for a second. I'm not ending stream. I got another hour. Ugh. Just letting those of you watching know. At the end of stream, I'm going to put up the end screen, right? You got 10 minutes during that end screen to get a guess in for the number of posters I bought on Warframe. I bought a lot of them. They look something like, let me get a hold of this. There we go. This. I should display it. Maybe it's because of this. Yep, it is. Okay, so you have to guess the number of these right here that I purchased in the game Warframe. I bought a lot. At the end of stream, that is the whole point of the giveaway. You guess one of the 6 numbers I've currently got going on, and you get a Warframe. And if you guess the grand total, you get 6 Warframes, or the remainder of, if someone decides to guess another number that is correct before you. That'll be at the end of stream, though. We do have another hour, and what I want to do is I want to take a break. I'm going to put the BRB screen up instead of the end screen, just so we're on the same page. I'm going to stop recording, and from this, you'll have a VOD on Orb Plus. You can literally type in Orb Plus. Boom. Go to all. And it should. Boom. Right there. That'll take you to my channel directly, or at least it should. Yeah. That'll take you directly to my channel. And from there, you'll see the VOD I have of this. As for everything else, everyone else in chat, we'll be right back. I want to continue with Blender, but at the same time, I think what I'm going to do when I get back is I'm going to transition over to the teleport side of things. So instead of Blender and that, I am going to transition to building the D&D world we're currently running with, right? I don't know how to get... Oh my gosh. How do I get out of knife mode? Like that. I have to press escape. That did nothing. I made a boo-boo, chat. I made a boo-boo. I'm going to save this, though, because we did make progress. I am going to save this. That is now saved. Yay. We're going to back out of this. BRB. Be right back.